Second round of the NIT from the Providence Civic Center. Here's how these clubs advanced. Providence, a 72-67 win over the College of Charleston. Virginia Tech over Clemson, 62-54. And you see New Mexico State and UTEP have also advanced in that quarter of the bracket. The Wolverine starting lineups. First for Bill Foster's Hokies of Virginia Tech. Ace Custis, 16 points and over 10 rebounds a game with Good, Watlington, Smith, and Jackson. And for Pete Gillen's Friars of Providence, it looks like this. Eric Williams, consensus first team all Big East with Brown, Western, Murdoch, and Michael Brown.
Pete looked like he was giving us an approval on our reading of the lineups there.
We'll take it. And we'll get underway. Randy Drury, Tom Brzezinski, and Mark Asario are officials tonight.
Providence opens up man-to-man.
Hokies lead the all-time series. They've only played one game. That was back in the Rainbow Classic in 1982 in Honolulu.
Brad, you got to believe that Providence is going to try to wear down Virginia Tech with the lack of numbers that they have. The defense has got to really step up and put the pressure on Virginia Tech. But Bill Foster very confident his club can handle that pressure.
Brown's going to take a three. Comes off the front end. Smith, Sean Smith on the rebound.
A svelte Sean Smith, I might add.
Down 30 or 40 pounds from this time a year ago.
I asked him before in the warm-ups, I said, where'd you lose it? He said, everywhere.
He's got a nice cross-court pass to Jackson in low with a left hand, and he'll keep it alive. Baseline jumper. Everybody cold so far. Now Good will try it outside. Nails a three.
Ooh, that was a nice-looking shot. Good rotation. They kept the ball alive. A couple of offensive rebounds. Get it back, and Good sticks it.
So the Hokies open up with a triple.
Virginia Tech in a 2-3 zone. A little bit of a matchup. Watch the movement on the baseline.
They pack it down low. No foul call.
Oh, they're letting them play tonight.
Are they ever? Troy Brown went down hard. No foul, but there was one on the stick-back attempt. And the foul will go on Sean Good.
Watch the move down inside. Brown comes up with it. Now he goes strong. Oh, that's got to be contact. Oh, guys, you're going to let him play like that. I'll tell you what, if they do, Virginia Tech will be down to the manager's plan.
Will they ever? Here's Eric Williams. Almost 18 points a game, 6th in the Big East. He's cooled off just a little bit in the last few games.
Yeah, Brad, he really has. You know, I was running some numbers on him, and while, you know, he was a unanimous pick for all Big East this year, but in his last 6 games, he's only shooting 32%. In fact, he attempted a season-low 5 shots against the College of Charleston. Maybe carrying this club all year long, beginning to show on him.
Yeah, he's had it on his big shoulders, no doubt about it. There's Jackson in low, and again, credit Sean Smith for the good look.
Maybe Bill Foster has a justification for feeling good about handling that pressure. They did that time. Got it down inside and got an easy basket.
5-1 Virginia Tech. Swatted away by Good. Murdoch got it back, came up short. Now Brown has it stripped by Smith. And it'll still be Friars ball on the baseline.
You'll see Troy Brown around that basket all day. 6'8", 238. Very, very active in there. Here's Pete Gillen. Turned down a couple of job offers the last couple of years, but decided this was one he couldn't pass up.
Stayed 9 years at Xavier, had great NCAA teams there, and finally this was the place he wanted to go. Western outside for 3. Rebound off to Custis. And the Hokies will run it up. Watlington now slows it.
They'll take the break when it's there. It might surprise you a little bit how much up and down they'll play with their limited personnel.
Yeah, they don't pull it out. 3-pointer. Watlington, and it's 8-1.
Watlington wants to go back again. Nice pass.
3-pointer rattles out. Watlington keeps it alive. Tough shot in low, and it'll be Williams to clear it.
Question I've got is, why would you not use the glass in that situation? Had an easy one after he got underneath.
Williams on the other end.
Well, they can't buy one. There it is.
Brown bought one. Cheap.
Troy Brown. You can see why he's been up there. 7 double-doubles this year.
1 for 7 from the field for Providence early.
You know, sometimes that's a good sign, though. I know it sounds bad to start off. Yeah,
early.
Get it out early. You're right. Look at that ball movement by Virginia Tech.
And Watlington missed a 3. Western Off the backside.
I think
of the
Murdoch
rebound.
may have gotten a little piece of that.
Michael Brown penetrates and dishes inside to Williams, and they're going to call goaltending on Travis Jackson. So Williams' first field goal actually doesn't go through the hoop.
Watch again. Nice move on the inside. Jackson's late getting there. Very active center defensively down inside.
Cuts it back to 3. 8-5 early, Virginia Tech.
1-2-2 full court zone press. Watch the trap at the midcourt. Nice handle by Virginia Tech.
Watlington, good little shake. Kicks it back to Smith from the free throw line.
Boy, is Watlington quick into that middle. You know, you get that deep on penetration, you're going to find some open people. Nice pass.
Brown down low, chance for a three-point play.
Boy, was that a terrific pass down inside. Michael Brown made a terrific bounce pass. Watch this. Look at this. Terrific bounce pass between 4 defenders and a nice catch inside.
I was going to say there was nothing but orange in there, and he split the seam, and a chance for a three-point play as Troy Brown will step up.
Brown to Brown.
We got a lot of Browns, a lot of Jacksons, and a lot of Shawns in this game. We'll try to keep them all straight.
Got a lot of guys from overseas, too, we're going to work on later.
2-point ball game.
Providence in the man-to-man still.
Larrigan now in the lineup for Providence. On Watlington.
Nice steal. Down inside, Eric Williams.
Watlington gets it right back. Baseline jumper, buried.
Custis is tough. Baseline. Ace. And he is. He's an ace.
That gets the Hokies back by 4. 15.5 to go first half. Virginia Tech has led the first 5.5 minutes. Brown outside for 3.
Got it. Larrigan delivered the pass. That's why they've got him off of the bench. Michael Brown with a nice shot.
And it's a 1-point game. Loose ball, foul on Virginia Tech. On Watlington. So a turnover and a opportunity for Providence to lead for the first time, but they're going to have to wait until after our timeout. 15-12 to go first half. Friars down big early and back within a point now. Virginia Tech by 1 with 15-12 to go, and they do not have a big bench. You don't see a lot of guys over there. And the ones that do play a lot, Larry.
Well, take a look at the numbers right there. You can see Good and Watlington, the two guards, almost 36 minutes per game. And then you look down the rest of that lineup, and again, they use basically just 7 guys. And really the one guy off of the bench for them is their 6th man is David Jackson. Take a look at the bench comparison here.
Providence with much more to work with, 21-13. And speaking of their bench, here's a guy that comes off the bench. He could be a starter for a lot of people. He's been on a tear. Austin Crozier, 28 points and 6 rebounds in the win over College of Charleston. So we'll keep our eye on number 44.
I asked him, I said, in the layup drills they were doing before the game, I said, where did you get all this confidence? He just looked at me and shook his head. I don't know.
Williams can't buy it inside. Battle for the rebound. Brown won that and drew a foul. Smith picks up his 2nd. And the Hokies don't want that guy in foul trouble, or anybody for that matter, due to the fact that we just talked about. Nobody to go to.
There's Bill Foster. Done a masterful job this year for Virginia Tech.
Done a pretty good job wherever he's been. Started his career at Shorter. 4th season at Virginia Tech after stops at North Carolina Charlotte and 9 years at Clemson.
Also spent 1 year in this chair. Did some games as a color commentator, doing games in the ACC and also some in the Metro. They tell me he was good. I hope he wasn't that good.
7 for Troy Brown. He's been pretty good early. And the Friars lead 13-12. First lead.
Here comes the trap. Good handle by Good.
Wide open for 3, and it goes for Watlington. That's his 2nd. He's coming off a 20-point game in the win over Clemson. All 5 Virginia Tech starters have scored. Brown, he's got a triple of his own. How about Troy Brown?
He doesn't go out there very often, but he can shoot out there.
Double figures, and we're not even 6 minutes into the game. 10 for Brown.
How about a guy 6'8", shooting 61% from three-point land? He was 11 of 18 coming into this game.
Nice versatility. Foul on the drive. Going to go on Michael Brown.
One of the things you got to be very careful about for Pete Gillen's club is if you're going to run that trap, you got to make sure you cover up the shooters very quickly and rotate around and cover those shooters. This Virginia Tech team is pretty good, particularly when they're left alone for about 2 or 3 seconds to get set for the shot.
Hokies bring in David Jackson, so they go to the bench for the first time, and he is their 6th man, and he can put some points on the board too. Smith still working it, wheels, had it blocked by Brown, count it. Goaltending on Brown.
He got up in the air, just got there a little late.
Our 4th lead change as the Hokies get back in front by 1.
I thought I'd had my fill of college basketball this weekend, but I'm finding myself excited.
There you
This
go.
is fun, yeah.
There were some great ones in the NCAA over the weekend. How about that drive by Larrigan?
Took the bump and still got it up, Brad. Strong move by the Spaniard.
I was going to say that.
Famous for the bullfighting up there. He looked like the bull going down the lane that time.
Somebody forgot to swing a cape.
No, I think maybe they did. That's why he got down there.
Curtis short. Crozier the rebound, but he stepped on the baseline. David Jackson on the floor. His brother injured in the preseason. There's Jim. These guys can't seem to ever get on the court at the same time, either due to transfer or injury. When they do, they will be a valuable addition.
In fact, Jim Jackson, interesting story, had back surgery really last season, and they tried to get him back in the lineup, and he's just not able to respond yet.
Good with a good move from 15. He's got 5. And again, Virginia Tech by a point, 7 minutes into the game from the Civic Center in Providence. Steal by Jackson. Came off the heel of Crozier. Fans don't realize that, but it happened right in front of us. That's a good move.
You turn around and tell them that
right.
it's the other way.
They're not buying it. They thought he hit a dead spot in the floor on the dribble, but it came right off Crozier's foot. Here's Jackson with a 3. Michael Brown the rebound.
Well, for a team that's only got 6 players, they really go up and down the floor.
Crozier, his 3 comes off. Rebound to Sean Good. Custis, he'll try a triple. Neither team shy from outside the arc so far. Smith, nice defensive play.
Able to keep it alive and get it back for Virginia Tech. You know what they say about Sean Smith? There's a great quote in the notes that I was looking at today. They say he's got a good basketball IQ. I think it's really a pretty fair appraisal of him because he does understand the game and knows how to play it.
Crozier tipped it away again. Last time with his foot, this time with his hand. Fans are still waiting for one to go their way. Good crowd at the Civic Center.
Just hope we don't have a standardized test to take to have to show that. Not that he couldn't do well with it.
Washington trying to work on Larrigan.
Providence extended defense now. They come out and playing that ball a little tighter. Really good.
3-pointer won't go. Virginia Tech 3 out of 8 from outside the arc. Friars down 1. And they'll go to their bench. Western will come back in. We'll take a timeout though. 11 minutes and 54 seconds left in this second round NIT game. Hokies of Virginia Tech lead by 1. Brad Nessler and Larry Conley at the Civic Center in Providence, Rhode Island. Home team down 1 to Virginia Tech in a seesaw battle. Here's how second round action looks. Penn State, Nebraska, Ohio, U and Iowa. Those 2 games tomorrow night. St. Bonnie and Marquette. Coppin State and South Florida, also another Metro team.
You'd like to have done that Penn State, Nebraska, wouldn't you?
Oh, man. Penn State game last week was great. Yeah, football would be a nice matchup. Here's our side of the bracket that we're involved in right now. Canisius and Bradley, Washington State, Illinois State, New Mexico State, and UTEP. Everybody trying to get, of course, to a week from tonight already, believe it or not, is the semifinals. Madison Square Garden.
I'm going to go up there and look at the lights, huh?
Got to do the lights.
Zone defense, Virginia Tech, 2-3. Providence checks it out, sets their offense.
They'll take the low 3. Bo Larrigan nails it. 5 off the bench.
He only averages 3 for the year.
Nice start. for the freshman out of Madrid, Spain.
Notice how the Friars have backed off of that full court hard pressure. Little token pressure now.
Whistle in the paint. Foul.
Brad, tell me Ace Custis didn't make a slick move across that lane.
That he did.
Was that quick? No way the Crozier could keep up with him.
He's got some speed and some hop. He'll go to the line. 65% free throw shooter on the season. There you see he led the Metro in rebound. 10.5 almost a game.
Actually fell 4 votes shy becoming player of the year in that league.
Jarvis
Lang got it, yeah.
Carolina Charlotte, who is a heck of a player and has been there.
He's part of an awfully good sophomore class around this country.
I guess so. Custis has scored in double figures 29 of his last 31 games, or 29 of 31 this year.
Another turnover by Providence. That was an unforced error.
Tie game for the first time tonight. 21.
You know, they want Custis involved in this offense as often as they can get it to him.
They look for him on the cross down the lane. They try to pack it down to him. Got his hands on it, kicked it back out to Good. 9 on the shot clock. Good cuts in, try to slam at the back of the rim, and picked up an offensive foul. That was no good from the start.
I got to tell you something. That shocked me. I can't believe how far out he was when he got it. Watch this. Look at the pass. Custis looks. Here comes Good. One step and up strong.
Not bad for a 6'3" guy.
Not bad at all.
Only problem is he missed the shot and picked up the foul. Other than that, it was pretty.
Got to finish. Got to make it good.
They'll stay with Brown and Larrigan as the backcourt. Providence brings it up. Tied at 21. Almost the midway point of the first half.
Larrigan with good minutes off of the bench here in the first half for Providence.
Western around a pick off the glass. Back up strong. Won't go for Crozier, but very close. And he did draw a foul. He'll go to the free throw line for a couple.
He's been doing a lot of this the last couple of games. As I said, he's been averaging 25 a game for the last 3. Look at this strong rebound. That's a great catch over his head. Custis tried to get it from him. Couldn't do it. Look at that ball. Will not stay down. Nice job by Austin Crozier. Here's
a guy that has averaged 26 a game over the last 3, and his numbers on the season.
What a pleasant find he's been for Pete Gillen, huh?
I guess. Sophomore out of Los Angeles.
One of the things that's interesting about him, looking at his body, he's still growing and filling out. He's very young. One of the things some of the Providence people said to me, he gets very tired. So you can look for him to get a little bit stronger as his career blossoms.
He's given the Friars a 2-point lead again, 23-21. Off Williams' foot. Fresh 35 on the shot clock.
Providence in his own defense, half-court trap.
Get it over to Watlington.
Look to the middle. Look to the middle.
Good goes down low to Custis, and he gets double-teamed immediately as well. Got to move it just a shade quicker against this defense. Jackson.
Are they closing down in a hurry?
Good gave up a 3. Watlington won't. Didn't get the roll. Custis the rebound. He'll try another one. Got it that time.
Same spot. Just a little adjustment for win.
He's got 3 of them tonight already. Tech by 1.
Shoots at 36% from that range. He wasn't going to miss that second one.
Nice hustle by Custis to come up with a steal.
See, Virginia Tech pushes the basketball. They surprise you. With 6 guys basically playing, you'd think they'd slow it down. They love to go up and down the floor.
Smith short underneath the pickup, and Good with a garbage underneath has 7. Timeout. Pete Gillen has seen just about enough as the Hokies go back in front by 3 with 9 minutes and 12 seconds left in the first half. It's Virginia Tech 26 and Providence 23. Virginia Tech by 3, 9-12 left first half. Providence just 2 years ago made the Final Four. We were talking about Madison Square Garden. There you see in 93. And here you see a great play by Custis and a nice move on the opposite end by Sean Good.
Ace had one up his sleeve right here. Got one in the post, and he came back. Now watch the miss, and Good get the rebound. Brad, all this points out is the versatility of these players. Good is the point guard out there, but he's inside rebounding, and one of the better rebounding guards you'll find in the country, averaging just slightly over 4.
I can see why. After he missed that dunk earlier and was called with the offensive foul, we thought he was up in the air on that one. That putback, he got great elevation, too. 9 minutes left. First half, 26-23, Virginia Tech.
Brad points out one thing about this Virginia Tech club. You've got to be able to do a lot of different things when you've only got 6 guys.
Good point. Crozier missed off the glass, trying to work for his own rebound, and Larrigan will pick it up. Western hadn't scored yet. Rebound off to Sean Smith, and here come the Hokies, and again, they're not content to pull it out. They move it up the court in a hurry.
But it's a controlled break. They get themselves in a situation where they don't put the ball in jeopardy.
Nice entry pass. Custis with a left hand. Good look by Watlington to get it to him.
Quick to the basket. Out of the Tidewater area. Boy, they had some good players come out of that section of the country.
7 straight for Virginia Tech. Troy Brown. That one stripped away and saved by Sean Good. 6th Providence turnover.
Well, Sean Good's getting it done on both ends.
Is
you know,
he
he's
ever?
scoring, coming up with a lot of loose balls. Look at him handle the trap.
Jackson gave up a 3. Sean Good will take it. Try to tip it back in. Strong to the board with Smith. Now it's a 2-on-2. Michael Brown tried to shake a little bit. Crozier wave it off. Foul before the shot.
Got a little push. No continuation here. Let's go back and take a look at that entry pass to Custis down on the block. Now watch the left hand. Look at the nice pass here. Away from the defense, avoidance on the inside of Michael Brown, and a nice soft off the glass. I'll tell you what, this guy is some kind of player. Ace Custis. Remember that name, folks.
They called that foul on Sean Smith, and he sits with 3. I thought they called it on David Jackson.
Well, he's one player. Actually, there isn't a player out there they can afford to lose.
Exactly. We said that earlier, and now he's going to be gone for the next 8 minutes, you would think.
You got to believe they're also going to go to a zone defense. I would think they pack it back in now with a little under 8 minutes to play.
There's the ace.
There's the ace on the left shoulder. And you are an ace, pal.
You got to get one of those, Larry.
Yeah.
You could have like
I'll
the
tell you what,
king
I'll
of
get
clubs.
I'll get one when you get one.
How about the king of clubs or the king of hearts? That'd look good on you. 28-25.
Well, Sean Smith, 16 points out of the game right now. Let's see who Virginia Tech decides to come up with to try to pick up that offensive load that's gone to the bench. Look at the move inside.
Sweet move on the baseline. He's got 8.
Crozier was looking at nothing but wind. Nothing but a breeze to the basket.
Murdoch around a pick, goes up on Jackson and off the glass. First basket for Jason Murdoch.
We got a warning here. They're telling Providence to leave the ball alone when it comes through the net. The next time they touch it, it's a technical foul.
And that gives time for a substitution. Michael Brown will sit, and Eric Williams will come back in.
Right there, Bill Foster coming off the bench was looking for a foul against his man. He thought David Jackson was run over.
And you saw Murdoch touch the balls that came through the net. Zielinski will check in, 6'7" senior, and Crozier will sit. Maciek Zielinski from Brokaw, Poland.
Want to try the school?
No way. Brokaw, Poland was good enough for me. I'll give you a shot at it, though, if you want.
If I got my phonetics down, I can do it.
30-27. Custis, man, what a look. Too good a pass, maybe. Stolen away.
Yeah, Travis Jackson couldn't even come up with it.
Only the 3rd Virginia Tech turnover. On the other end, Murdoch. Back-to-back shots for Murdoch. That's a 2-pointer just inside the line. Cuts it to a 1-point Virginia Tech lead.
Nice close affair here between these two clubs. One out of the Metro, one out of the Big East.
Good job by Zielinski to front Custis and knock that one away.
If David Jackson's going to make that pass in there, he's got to get a little bit more to the right.
Sean Good will check back in, and Watlington will get a breather. And this, again, we were talking about this before the game. The way Bill Foster has to substitute We'll talk about that in a second. Don't forget the NAIA National Championship. Piper of North Carolina. The Falcons against the Panthers of Birmingham Southern. And that's from Mabee Center in Tulsa, Oklahoma. Getting back to the substitutions, though, of Bill Foster, with so little bench to use, he's got to really work, especially his backcourt, and bring guys in at a certain time just to give them enough rest. As you see Watlington on the bench there. He's not in foul trouble. He just needs a breather.
You know, he's got Guillory in the lineup right now, who spells the guards out front. I mean, when you got two guards averaging 36 minutes a game for an entire season, that's a lot of minutes.
Foul down low will go on Zielinski.
Once again, the inside, Ace Custis, just too much to handle for one player. There's more ties on that bench than there are uniforms.
There's the bench comparison so far. Providence with 8 points off their bench. And the Hokies still looking for something point-wise. As long as they get quality minutes, they probably don't need the points as much. But now with Sean Smith on the bench, they're going to need all the Custis they can muster, and he's got 10.
I'll tell you, Zielinski cannot handle him by himself. Somebody's got to go back in there and double down on him. Zielinski's trying to handle him, and when they clear out that side, there isn't anybody doubling down from Providence.
Under 6 minutes, first half, 32-29, Virginia Tech. Williams been relatively quiet. Missed that jumper, cleared off by Travis Jackson.
Watch Good handle that basketball. Nice looking guard. I like this young man. I like the way he plays.
Custis, great look on the baseline. Good, got a little too deep, missed in close, too close, and Williams the rebound.
Should have gone to the other side.
Murdoch's been hot. Missed that 18-footer.
Providence down one shot and forget it. Virginia Tech's cleaning up on the defensive board and getting it back. Bill Foster told me the shoot-around today, so the key to this game for us is keeping Providence from second shots. So far, he's been able to do that.
Zielinski almost came up with a steal. Custis tips it out. Guillory, 3 rolls in.
Oh, got a nice roll.
He's already doubled his average. It's only his 7th three-pointer of the entire year, and it puts his team up by 6. 35-29. And Guillory with a foul.
Guillory went charging to that sideline like he had some ideas of intercepting that ball. And pretty good move that time by Jason Murdoch to get his body in front of him to draw the foul.
Watlington comes back in, and Guillory will sit after hitting the 3.
You know, Brad, one of the things I find in this NIT, and it really gets better and more interesting as each bracket progresses. In the opening games, you got a lot of clubs, some of them disappointed they didn't get in the NCAA tournament. You got some clubs that are up and coming that like to be in this tournament and like playing in it. I think it's a great 3 weeks, an opportunity to find out what your club's going to be like next year. And I think a lot of coaches look at it like that, too. I know one thing, those competitive juices start to flow, boy, once you get past that first game.
We had a great situation at State College last week because Penn State and Miami were both just happy that they were in the NIT. They played like it, and they gave us a great game. Penn State with a come-from-behind win.
I mean, players like to play. You know, forget what tournament you're in. It's the NIT. It's an old tournament, the oldest.
One that Providence has won a couple of times in the 60s. Zielinski. Custis up high for the rebound.
Well, they just cannot get second shots against this Virginia Tech club. So that one part of the strategy Bill Foster talked about, preventing Providence from getting second shots, is working so far.
Hokies by 5. And we're under 4.5 minutes. Nice cross-court pass. Jackson, 3, way outside. He got it.
Oh, I tell you, David Jackson off of the bench. Big minutes.
And the biggest lead, 38-30. Trying to answer on the other end, and Williams has it.
Good to see Eric Williams back shooting that ball well again.
6'8" senior buries a 3, makes it a 5-point game with 4 to go. First half from the Civic Center in Providence, Rhode Island.
I can see why he was a unanimous Big East choice. Number 7 scorer in the Big East this year.
Custis trying to give it back to Good. Loose ball last touched by Virginia Tech with 3 minutes and 44 seconds remaining first half. Bill Foster's team still in front, leading by 5. call having an ace way up your sleeve. Ace Custis, a sophomore at Eastville, Virginia, and his numbers so far.
Some of the poker games I play with are guys that used to reach that far up to get them, too. Go back and watch his offensive play on the inside. Good seal off here by Ace. He turns and looks straight up. 10 points so far for that young man in the first half. He can do it all on the board, too. He's got 3 rebounds to go with those 10 points.
It's actually Adrian Custis. Probably only his mom calls him Adrian. Ace to everybody else. 3-point shooting so far. Neither team's been shy. And Virginia Tech 6 of 13 outside the arc.
How about Providence? 4 out of 7.
5-point game with 3:40 left first half. With Larry Conley, Brad Nessler with you from Providence.
Good job by Custis defensively not to take the fake by Williams. Good switch by Custis.
Murdoch. His game's warmed up here in the last couple minutes. 7 for Murdoch.
He's been the offensive star, I think, so far in the first half for this Providence team. Good, doing an excellent job of handling the basketball and getting into front court just to get their offense set.
That's another thing sometimes you forget when you don't have a team that's very deep. When you're the point guard, you've got to handle it. Not only play 36 minutes a game, you got to bring it up every time.
Yep. Phil Foster unhappy with the way that particular sequence went.
5th Virginia Tech turnover. The 3-minute mark. Brown trying to pack it into Williams. Knocked away by Custis.
Hey, you look at Custis's body. He's 6'7", weighs 206. That's what they list him. I think he may not weigh that much. Got a great frame, though. Basketball body.
Kind of a Dominique Wilkins looking body. Once he grows into it a little more. Brown on the baseline. Rebound comes off to Jackson.
1 on 11 there. I believe I'd pull it back out.
Good. Got up in the air. I'm not even sure he wanted to take the shot, but it was a smart move because he drew the foul, and he'll go to the line for a couple. Foul on Murdoch. Don't forget second round action in the NIT coming up tomorrow. We got a doubleheader for you. John Amaechi and Penn State taking on the Cornhuskers of Nebraska on the road, and then Iowa home to Ohio U, who won the preseason NIT, you might remember. Gary Trent, 3-time MAC MVP. Winner of those 2 games will meet in the quarterfinals. So that's a twin bill tomorrow on ESPN.
Pretty good comeback by those Nittany Lions last week, wasn't it?
I guess. Good. Got the roll on the second. 39-35. Let's see if Providence can cut it to a bucket. 2.5 to go in the half. Williams triple teamed and still got it home.
He's really been a marked man this year. I mean, a lot of clubs have been double and triple teaming him. It's one of the reasons why his point production has fallen off at the end of the season. A lot of clubs realizing how much he means offensively to this Providence club.
Providence trying to pick it up on the defensive end. Brown almost got a steal. David Jackson alone had it tipped. Give the credit to Crozier, who got a piece of that one. Friars can tie if they score, but they turn it over instead.
See, good. Now, there was an intelligent move right there. He pulled it back out, did not want to pursue what he wanted down that right side. Now they've got a half-court game. Well, I like the way Good plays this game.
Jackson feeds Custis in low. Gives it right back to him.
Got the triple team. Knew somebody had to be open. He looked to the middle, right in the paint. There was his man, Travis Jackson.
Back to a 4-point Hokie advantage. Williams outside. Custis, I think, got a hand on that. Crozier, nice double dip with a left hand.
What a spin move.
His first field goal, and it was a pretty one.
Like he might have kissed that one off his elbow.
Good. Takes it straight to the hole.
Is that tough? That's good, better, and best.
He's got 10. On the other end, you got to get back, though. Murdoch on a runner. 9 for Murdoch. 2-point game under a minute first half.
Good, and Murdoch really putting on a show in this first half.
Tremendous pace in this game.
Entertaining game. Fun.
Wylington. Couldn't get it. Providence can tie before halftime.
Run some clock? Nah.
And Michael Brown says, yeah, let's do that just for a second here. There's about a 10-second difference. Shot clock and game clock. The game clock in the corner of your screen.
Don't forget, Sean Smith has been on that bench for Virginia Tech now for about 10 minutes.
And they maintain the lead. 10 on the shot clock. Crozier outside. Rattled out on it. Custis with a board. And now Virginia Tech will pull it out just a bit with a 2-point lead.
I got good one-on-one.
That's what he's thinking, I think. Michael Brown probably thinks the same thing. Here he goes. Good. Going to kick it to Jackson. Trying to lean in. And you got a feel for Zielinski. He was just sort of standing there, and he picks up his third foul. We're just 1.4 seconds away from halftime. Chris Fowler will have NIT scores. NCAA deja vu. And I assume that's the Lawrence Moten, Chris Webber calling the phantom timeouts. Boy, Lawrence Moten, just a great career, and you hate to see something like what happened yesterday against Arkansas come to pass. Custis at the buzzer, and he didn't get the roll. Good first half. Several lead changes. Virginia Tech led by 8 at one point. And at intermission, they're only up by 2 thanks to a good push by the Friars of Providence in the last couple of minutes. Halftime, Virginia Tech 43, the Providence Friars 41 as we send it back to the studio and Chris Fowler. Chris. At the Providence Civic Center, the Hokies of Virginia Tech leading the Friars of Providence 43-41, a game Virginia Tech led by 8 at one point. Excellent three-point shooting by both clubs, Larry.
Look at the rebounding, though. 18-17 in favor of Providence. Tell you, the shooting has been outstanding from three-point range. Free throw shooting has been good. Little turnovers forced. Now, we want to tell you that's turnovers forced by the other team,
right,
not their own.
Ace Custis has been everything we expected and then some, I think, in the first half.
Had about 10 points, 5 rebounds, 4 assists, shared scoring honors in the first half, and I think one of the better sophomores I've seen play this year.
No doubt about it. There's his numbers. And he has his team in front by a deuce at the break. Providence trying to draw even here in the opening possession of the second half.
Pass on a few other individual performances. Sean Good with 10 points in the first half, and Damon Watlington, the other guard, with 9.
Brown misses a chance to tie it, and Sean Good with his 4th rebound of the game to go with his 10 points and 2 steals.
For Providence, Troy Brown led with 10, and Jason Murdoch had 9. Eric Williams with 8.
Custis ran into some traffic and just plain ran. Turnover. Only the 6th for Virginia Tech in the ballgame.
Pretty well played game in the first half, actually. 7 turnovers for Providence, only 5 for Virginia Tech. And as you can see, Sean Smith back in that lineup. Important to have him in there. Double down.
Double on Williams leaves. Crozier all alone outside. Tie game.
Boy, he continues to be the hottest player on this Providence club. Off of that bench, giving them good numbers.
Even at 43. We were tied at 21 in the first half. And now 43 here, a minute into play, second half. Jackson has to bring it back outside. Smith, nice look down low, and Crozier fouls Watlington.
You know what happened? Crozier went over to try to give a little aid to his teammates, and when he did, a little backdoor cut there, he enabled the pass to go down inside. Watch Smith make the nice pass, the good cut, and the good catch by Damon Watlington.
Some of that IQ of Smith that you talked about.
And basketball IQ.
Sees the floor well and saw his partner Sean Good. He'll step up at the free throw line. 20 in the first round win against Clemson. And had 3 threes in that one.
Bill Foster gave me a new word today. He was searching for a word to describe Damon Watlington. He looked at me and he said, spurty. And I looked at him and I said, what? He said spurty, you know, as in he spurts. And I said, oh, okay.
I know one thing. He had the spurt at the right time at the end of the Clemson game as he hit 6 straight free throws in the last
What a save down inside by Custis.
Up high for the rebound is Troy Brown. Hokies by a point. Providence can change it if Murdoch's shot goes, and it does.
He's been on fire. Came into the game shooting 36% for the year, but you never would know that the way he's been shooting in this game.
46-44 as Murdoch has a dozen.
He said Murdoch was a very inconsistent player. Well, if he came in at 36%, he's certainly a lot better than that right now.
On the cut is good. Waits for 2 men to go up over him and drops it in. He has 12.
Well, they're going to do a nice job on those cuts and getting the ball to the guy when he gets down inside there. That's 2 of those they've had in this half.
And it helps that Good has all that spring. Even though he's only 6'3", he can go against the bigger guys. Loose ball, pile up. Custis saves it out to Smith, and Smith to Watlington. He's going to pull up for a triple. Got it.
Boy, he went right into Williams' face. There was nobody back to rebound that basketball. He had the confidence to know that he was going to put it up and make it.
5 straight points for Virginia Tech. It's been a game of mini runs, if you will.
Providence trying to shake Murdoch out front, that high post cut. Williams wants it down inside.
Crozier wants a 3-pointer. Custis a rebound.
How about the block out inside, keeping Eric Williams away from that basketball? Well, clubs really get very basic at the end of the season, don't they? They execute their fundamentals well. That's why you see teams that are in the tournament today, whether it's the NCAA or the NIT, advancing because they do those fundamentals well.
I was going to say that's why we're still watching them tonight.
Yep.
Good around a pick. Just inside the 3-point line.
Use the screen, the curl around the top. And Good continue to have a good second half.
Hokies by 5. Just when Providence had run it out to a 2-point lead, 46-44. It's all Virginia Tech from that point. 7 straight. Williams trying to end that string. And Watlington saves it. Hokies on a run.
Pete Gillen upset. He thought his man was fouled underneath.
Custis down to Smith.
What a pass. Saw the double team, felt it coming from Williams, and dropped it down inside to Sean Smith.
See if Pete Gillen wants a timeout. It's a 9 straight run, and it will be timeout Providence. Virginia Tech, 9 straight points after trailing by 2, find themselves up by 7 and doing all the little things very, very well, including Custis to Smith to put the Hokies up 53-46. Just once, I want to do a game in my pajamas. 53-46. Custis is doing everything right now, Larry.
Well, I'll tell you what, he's not in his pajamas, but he's in his uniform at Virginia Tech and doing great work. Watch him screen out Eric Williams on that rebound. I tell you, he's done everything for this club tonight.
He had the great look on the other end for the assist, and he might work himself into a triple-double tonight. Custis has 10 points, 8 rebounds, 5 assists. David Jackson. Nope. Offensive foul.
One of the few mistakes you've seen this Virginia Tech club make tonight. You know, they do things so well, and they don't ever seem to be in a hurry. You know, things just seem to come their way.
Be quick, but don't hurry, Coach Wooden, huh?
Heard that one before.
Down to 16 minutes. Bill Foster can his team go to 22-10. They're in the midst of their first 20-plus win season in 9 years, and they're looking pretty good right now.
Got to make sure they keep Sean Smith on that floor, though, with those 3 fouls. Important to keep him out there.
Michael Brown on the runner. Had it partially blocked, and David Jackson will pull it out of midair. Dangerous time right now for Providence. Down 7 and Tech hot. Custis. Got it.
Does everything. Nice ball movement, too. David Jackson looked to his right and found his target. And it was an ace.
Big sure was. Biggest lead of the night. 55-46. Hokies by 9.
Double down by Watlington. Good steal again. Jackson there.
Watlington, killer shot of it goes. No chance, though. Troy Brown will pull it off the glass.
I don't think he wanted to shoot there from the time he got it in his hands. Didn't even look good. Didn't feel comfortable.
Providence could use a triple of their own. They'll use anything offensively. Williams will try to get it inside. He might get an old-fashioned triple.
Oh, Bill Foster off the bench. Upset. He thought that was a charging foul.
And it's Sean Smith who picks up his 4th.
Well, that's what I was talking about. You got to avoid those fouls. Now what does Bill Foster do? Is he going to send Smith to the bench?
Coach Foster turns around, looks at what is a sparsely inhabited bench. I'm telling you, 2 guys to play with. Travis Jackson will be the man that'll come off for Virginia Tech, and Williams doesn't capitalize with the opportunity from the free throw line. 55-48. Virginia Tech by 7, trying to advance. And the second round and into the third round of the NIT. All alone. Three-pointer won't go for Sean Good. Providence can cut it to 5.
Nice pass to Williams. Look at the spin move.
Got his own miss and missed again. He knew that first shot wasn't going. Second one, I think he had a prayer on that. Watlington in the paint.
Nice move. He decided not to take the three that time as badly as he missed the last time outside. Went strong to the hole, and Virginia Tech now up by 9.
Watlington has quietly put together a 15-point night.
Virginia Tech team has very quietly forged to a 9-point lead.
Boy, they've looked very efficient. Murdoch short. Custis another rebound. He's going to have his double-double the next time he pulls one off the glass. David Jackson in low, and he drew a foul.
You know, Watlington could have put that shot up. He was inside, and nobody from Providence challenged. You know, the one guy that works hard for Providence, Eric Williams, watch how tough it is for him to try to get inside. Spin move, goes back, gets it again, goes strong. Who's there to block it? Custis. And Virginia Tech gets it and pushes it to the other end. Eric Williams having a frustrating evening.
Custis might as well add a couple of blocks to the repertoire while he's at it tonight, huh? Smith on the bench with 4.
There's such a thing as a quadruple double.
Don't see it very often. Jackson, 4 points on the night. Transfer from North Carolina, Asheville. 5 for the game.
Saw a shot of Sean Smith on the bench over there. Those 4 fouls. See if Virginia Tech can continue to hold in here.
Lead is stretched to 11. Western, no good. Travis Jackson the rebound.
Once again, Brad, one shot and out. They're not getting any rebounds, any offensive rebounds against Virginia Tech. Good blockouts.
You know what's amazing is Virginia Tech had almost no offensive rebounds of their own in their first-round win over Clemson. They only had 4 offensive boards, so Bill Foster must have said, hey, if you can't get offensive rebounds, get defensive rebounds, because they're doing it tonight.
Well, they're getting plenty of them. Now Providence is starting to pick it up a little bit, and there's a foul by Williams.
Troy Brown pick it up.
Wasn't it? Yeah.
And the field goal shooting in this half, Virginia Tech 6 of 9.
That's good offensive efficiency. I mean, you're taking 9 shots. The club you're playing against has put up 6 more shots than you have, and you've got 3 more field goals.
Murdoch gets a breather. Zavilski checks in for the first time tonight.
Just great execution by Virginia Tech.
Here's even more of the same, although Custis walked with that one.
He's got such an even temperament. You know, no argument, no discussion. Just say, okay, I'll go back and play my defense and try it again the next time.
13 minutes, 5 seconds left in the ball game. Walensky on top. Western's been quiet on offense. Zavilski underneath draws a foul.
Pete Zavilski in there strong, off of the bench, trying to help a little bit. Freshman, 6'10", 245 out of Warsaw, Rhode Island. He's got one of those bowl cuts.
Warsaw, Rhode Island, for you, those of you that don't think he's from Warsaw, Poland, that is. Zavilski, his numbers on the season. 6'10", 245. Williams and Crozier look on. A 10-point ball game as the second one comes out, 59-49. And a quick foul on Larrigan. Providence coming into this one had won 4 of their last 5. They beat UConn when they were ranked 4th. They beat Villanova when they were ranked 11th. They beat 20th ranked Syracuse in overtime in the Big East tourney. So obviously some quality wins when you go 7-11 in the Big East. Jackson underneath.
What a terrific pass, and another assist down inside by Ace Custis. Well, I hate to keep talking about his name. I mean, you've got to say it. I mean, he's involved in every play.
12-point lead now, the biggest advantage. Underneath. 2 coming up for Zavilski as he's fouled.
We've talked about Custis all night long. Watch again some of his expert skills. Look at this pass. Good look inside. He just sort of feels that double and triple team coming. You know, the one thing about this Virginia Tech club, Brad, is we're watching them play. This is a very non-emotional team. They're almost like a surgeon. They just go in, they do their job very quietly, very efficiently, and get it done.
61-51, 12-15 left. Providence is going to have to put a little run of their own on. Well, the hometown fans will be disappointed. There was an 11-0 run for Virginia Tech in this half, and thus their lead.
Pretty good idea by Pete Gillen to try to shake things up a little bit.
Good. They're going to give it to him?
Yeah, I think they are.
Wow.
Larrigan's going to be called for the foul.
Basket's good.
Pete Gillen says, come on, guys, this is not the pros. Does it happen out on the floor? There's the foul. Well, there's the question about whether he's going up or not. You know, if he's starting up, you got to give it to him.
Watch the arm get tucked right at the elbow right there as he's already going up.
I don't know. I think he's on the floor.
At any rate, he's got a chance for a three-point play and connects on it. 17 for Sean Good.
Boys, the backcourt played big tonight for Virginia Tech.
I guess. He and Watlington have been sensational. And then you had David Jackson in there. Larrigan. Zabilski and tries to go back up again. Again, he drew the foul. And again, it's Travis Jackson.
Well, Zabilski is spending an eternity at that free throw line in this second half. They won't allow him to make any baskets, but he's stepping up there to make those free throws.
He'll step up again. 3 for 4 tonight. Didn't even play in the win over College of Charleston. Getting some quality minutes tonight. Murdoch checks back in. They need more offense from him as he had 9 in the first half, 12 for the game. And Zabilski got them both. With 11 minutes and 49 seconds left, it's the Hokies leading by 11. Providence 13-4 at home this year, and Pete Gillen wants a little more activity from guys like this. This was going to the timeout. Let's get up. Let's try to get the team back in it as they trail by 11 with 11:49 to play.
Tried a couple of maneuvers there right before we went to break. He went to a three-quarter court zone trap. Tried to get a steal, and Virginia Tech handled it. Now the crowd's back in it. Got to be a little bit of cheerleader, a little bit of coach.
That's right.
A little bit of
psychologist.
Counselor. Yeah, everything.
Brown not good. They're going to trap him or try to. Jackson all alone as he waited for the traffic to go by.
You know what I talked about at the beginning of the show? Bill Foster says everybody's tried to press us this year, but we're pretty good. We can handle that pressure.
They've shown it. 13-point lead again. And good with a steal. Exactly what Providence didn't need. And Costas.
Oh, he missed an easy one.
Zabilski got a piece of it.
Now, Brad, I got to tell you, I've seen little things like this turn clubs around. Oh, they got it back.
That turnaround by Western didn't go, or that certainly would have helped the cause. The 11-minute mark. Brad Nessler, Larry Conley with you at the Providence Civic Center. It's a 13-point Virginia Tech lead. Back in Blacksburg, they're going, this will work. This is more like it. But they turn it over there.
Well, a missed shot and an errant pass, and already Providence has let one go by. Let's see if they let this one go by or they capitalize on it.
Eric Williams will check back in.
Good minutes that time by Zabilski.
Michael Brown to bring it up under 11 minutes. Nice bounce pass in low to Williams, who goes over the 1,000-point mark in his career with that basket.
Nice pass by Austin Crozier. Got it down in there where he needed to get it. Providence stepping up the defense a little bit now. Williams out top guarding his man.
Watlington over Brown. Rebound to Williams.
Things are starting to go Providence's way now.
Murdoch reverse. 14 for Murdoch. Good looking move.
I don't want to be premature about this, but I've seen little things like that turn clubs around. That miss by Custis on the layup.
Crowd has worked back into it, with or without Pete Gillen leading the cheers. And they come up with a steal. Murdoch on the run. Swatted away. Foul. And I'm surprised that they're not asking for a goaltend on top of it.
Watch again as Murdoch works that right sideline. Gathers it in. He almost lost it. Got it back, and Jason goes strong to the hoop on the way up. Here's the play before. Watch Murdoch go and reverse it. Jason Murdoch starting to get it done like he did in the first half. Providence starting to show signs of coming to life here.
Murdoch, 5 out of 9 from the field. 1 for 2 from the free throw line so far tonight.
I thought Virginia Tech had put him in that rocking chair. Start to take him out of it now. There's Pete Gillen. Tell you what, he was rocking that chair. He's trying to get this crowd fired up too.
Murdoch, 6'3" sophomore out of Bridgewater, New Jersey. Got the second. Substitution. Sean Smith with 4 fouls comes back in. Now they just made the announcement about Eric Williams becoming the 30th Providence player over 1,000 in his career. Did that with that bucket a minute or so ago. 66-58, 8-point game when once it was 13. We're past the midway point of the second half.
What it's done, Brett, is given Providence some confidence. They're starting to step it up defensively now. They feel confidence on the offensive end, too.
Custis wants it. Williams playing him tough defensively. Murdoch got another steal. But he couldn't save it on the sideline right in front of us. Great defensive play, but he just couldn't handle it down the line.
Now the question is, did he have possession? They're saying he didn't, so the shot clock stays at 10. Watch Wadlington trying to make the maneuver here. No way. Murdoch really playing great this second half on the defensive end.
Jason, the cousin of Eric Murdoch, former Providence star and the Milwaukee Buck.
They're going to give him 35 seconds. They're going to say it was a steal in possession.
Well, they reset it. 35 on the shot clock and 9:14 game clock. And Providence picking up the defensive pressure. Boy, are they ever.
See, they've got confidence. That little missed layup down inside by Custis really started to turn this thing around.
You're right. That stoked this thing. Under 9 minutes. 15 on the shot clock. Sean Good. Jackson for 3. Got it. What a killer shot.
That is a dagger in the heart.
His second triple of the night. And that really quiets things. Back to an 11-point advantage. Murdoch. Nice look down low to Williams. And now, Crozier underneath.
I don't know how Crozier ended up with it. The ball went to Williams.
10 for Crozier. 9-point ball game. When you keep it in single digits, you always have that hope, the psychological advantage of a hometown crowd and knowing that you're not down in double figures. It's got to help Providence. They've made a little push here after trailing by 13. In need of a defensive stop, though. Smith. One-hand hook. Comes off. Crozier the rebound. They got their stop. Let's see what they do on offense.
I think if Providence scores right here, it might be a good time for Bill Foster to take a timeout. Great block.
Larrigan got it back, though. Crozier baseline move. No foul call. Rebound comes off to Watlington. Watlington, 3. Custis, big rebound. His 11th.
Look at that. Is that composure? Take the ball out, give it to your point guard, say, come on, let's set this thing up and run it.
Not bad for a sophomore, huh? Blocked. But a goaltending call on Crozier. Give the basket to Sean Good, and he will have 19 points. 7 minutes and 12 seconds left in this second round NIT game. And right now, the Hokies in command. Virginia Tech by 11 with 7:12 left. The Metro Conference certainly did well with postseason basketball. By final Metro standings, we mean final Metro standings. But look at that. They didn't have a club with a losing record. That's phenomenal.
Only conference in the country to be like that.
2 still alive, South Florida and Virginia Tech.
One of the things kind of interesting about Virginia Tech, only club, one of 11 schools in the country to have their basketball team, men's and women's, in postseason play and also go to a bowl.
Good one, Larry. Heading to the Atlantic 10 next year.
Providence needs some good offensive moves now. Here's one of them. No, short.
And nobody home for the rebound, but Guillory.
Well, Crozier really has cooled off here tonight.
Yep. Had that huge 28.6 rebound game. 17 of those 28 in the first half against College of Charleston, but not that kind of night tonight. Guillory picks up the offensive foul, his second.
It's the proper call. Even Bill Foster admitted that.
Custis getting a little breather. They're going to need maybe him down the stretch, although right now they lead by 11. Murdoch. Fouled by Guillory. A little hand check as he picks up back-to-back fouls in about 15 seconds.
Guillory making a name for himself is just going on the wrong side of the ledger.
61% second half for Virginia Tech. And Providence only 1 of every 4 going down. Murdoch's had a good ball game. 15 points. Free throw line has been a little bit of a question mark for him.
Not on that one.
Zielinski will check back in. Crozier goes out. And here comes the man of the night. Ace Custis in.
I'll tell you what, you're not dealing from the bottom of the deck when you got an ace like this guy.
Right off the top.
Murdoch with a good game. Had 15 against Oklahoma State earlier in the year. Well, there's a team that's doing really well. There's that trap again.
Full court pressure. Handled, not handled. Thrown away by Jackson.
One of the rare times Virginia Tech has given it up on full court pressure.
And they had a guy wide open. Jackson just had too much on the pass.
Myron Guillory couldn't outstretch that 6'1" frame any higher.
(13-10) on the turnovers.
Blocker charge
before the shot. Is it on Williams backing in? I think so.
Yeah, it is.
Custis was excited down there by his defense, hugging a teammate, and we'll see why.
Boy, Custis took that bob, too. Williams gave him a little head, a little nod. He was lucky his man came to help him. Here comes the pressure again.
Guillory that held his ground.
Now Providence again.
Smith almost picked up an offensive foul. He would have been gone. 71-62, 9-point advantage, 6 minutes to play. Whoops, Watlington off his knee, turnover Virginia Tech.
Yeah, Virginia Tech's starting to get a little bit sloppy now.
And maybe a little bit tired. And who could blame them for the latter?
Well, Bill Foster's going to have to judiciously use his timeouts here in this final 5 minutes and 55 seconds. You also got to remember Sean Smith has played most of the second half with 4 fouls.
Zielinski sits, Crozier back in.
If I'm Pete Gillen, I continue to put that pressure on Virginia Tech.
Back outside is Murdoch. He gave up a 3. Brown will take it. And kept alive by Troy Brown. Now Murdoch. Crozier, big 3-pointer. Got it!
Now if he's back and hot, Providence has got something going.
Crowd's back in it. 6-point game. And a foul on Michael Brown.
Seventh team foul, so now Virginia Tech goes to the line for 1-1.
And the guy that steps up is not a guy that misses from the free throw line, at least not often. 80%er, tops on the club.
Right, this is about as close as Providence has been all night.
Brother Jim looking on. Jackson missed it. Loose ball. Whoa. He just about lost a monitor. Murdoch slides right into our table.
In fact, he was right at our feet. Eric Murdoch. Somebody got a little soft drink on their calculator down there. Happened to be our stats guy. We're in trouble, Brian.
Deb Kaufman from ESPN2 just got a lap full of Diet Coke over here.
So did our stats guy on his calculator. We're in trouble.
We'll just kind of do it by feel from this point on. Good. Smith, big offensive rebound. We're under 5 minutes.
Good continues to handle. That's as close as Providence has been in a while.
Heck using a little clock now. At the 4.5-minute mark. Backing it into Custis. Tough catch just to grab that thing. Jackson found a lane.
Oh, what a nice move. And he took Zielinski right down the lane with him. Zielinski would have no part of him. Well, that could have stepped up big. David Jackson has. He's made some tough shots.
12 points, 9 this half. 73-65. Hook pass out to Murdoch. Sets up, had a good look from 3, but didn't get it.
That's over the back.
On Troy Brown. Boy, there wasn't much of a seam from right behind Jackson. He found it, and then nobody closed it.
What I don't understand is why Eric Williams wasn't over there to shut him down. Zielinski was in trouble right from the get-go. There's brother looking on approvingly.
Twin brother Jim looking on, saying, we'll take that one.
Perhaps next year they'll have a chance to play together, huh?
Can't wait to do a game with both those guys on the court. I hope their numbers are completely different. There's Smith's numbers on the night. Foul trouble early for Sean. Sean says, make sure you say hi to my gang back in Gastonia, North Carolina. Big free throw. Virginia Tech, no seniors on this club, remember. Bill Foster's doing it without a senior and with very little, if any, bench. There you see the roster breakdown. Smith got them both. 2 big free throws by the 6'6" junior. 10-point game, 4 to go. Williams, tough move on the baseline. It didn't go for him. Zielinski got his hands on it, tried to go back up, and it was stripped away by Watlington.
Boy, what a play by Watlington. I thought Zielinski was going to go back up strong. Tough miss down inside. I thought Eric Williams had one roll right in, and it came off.
Talk about great balance in the scoring column tonight for Virginia Tech. Good has 19. Watlington has 15. 12 for Custis. And 12 for David Jackson off the bench. That's not bad. Custis got it in close with 5 on the shot clock.
Sean Smith was fortunate to come up with that ball. He was fumbling it all the way to the baseline. Got it up and got it to the right man.
And now it's back to a 12-point lead. And things are starting to look a little dim for Providence pulling this out. But Crozier trying to keep him in it. He's had a big half. 15 for Crozier for the game.
Providence needs some stops, and they need them right now. You know Virginia Tech's going to milk some clock.
Jackson backs it out. Exactly what Larry was talking about. Use all of that 35 if you can now with a 10-point lead.
So even Custis passes an easy one up. Watlington.
There's a pass maybe you can't give up. And Smith missed the shot, but he did draw the foul.
Great offensive efficiency again by Virginia Tech. I can't say enough about the way the Hokies have played this game. They just have approached it in a very workmanlike manner. They've gone out, executed, done the things they've had to do. And that's the reason they've got this 10-point lead.
Virginia Tech lost in a surprise to Southern Mississippi in the first round of the Metro Conference Tournament, and maybe their worst game of the year, but they have rebounded now, beating Clemson in round 1. And with 2.5 minutes to go, they've got things working for them here against Providence of the Big East. And working maybe on their best season ever. Who knows? They can match the Del Curry years of 85-86, that 22-9 club, if they win tonight. And then they would have only one more victory to match the best in school history for a single year. Smith hits both free throws, and it's the Hokies by a dozen. 2.5 minutes from the Providence Civic Center, where the Friars are down a dozen to the Hokies of Virginia Tech, who have been about as efficient in their play as I think anybody I've seen all year. Remember, they are playing with a very short bench, no seniors, and they have done just what they needed to do on the road here in round 2 of the NIT.
I want to ask you something. Have you seen a team all year that's been so non-emotional in their approach to this game?
Tell you what, they're businesslike, no doubt about it. Crozier, baseline move, strong.
Nice play. Good move there. Smith got it in before Providence could set their press, and there goes Custis.
Custis for the slam. Give him 16 to go with his 12 rebounds and 6 assists.
Providence did not have a chance to set their press because Sean Smith got that ball in quickly after the made field goal.
Brown rushed to 3. Custis another rebound and the outlet. And a foul on Michael Brown.
Well, this has been a clinic so far. Look at Sean Smith look over here and wink at us. Like he knew what was going to happen.
South Florida from the Metro has advanced as their brethren from Virginia Tech appear that they will too. Washington State over Illinois State by 4. Here's a guy that's had a pretty good ball game too. Watlington, 15 points. Had a stretch at one point this year where he had 5 straight 20-point games. First time a Virginia Tech player had done that since Bimbo Coles, who's one of their greats. 16 points and 5 assists for Damon. Again, 5 Hokies in double figures.
Well, what great chemistry on this club. I mean, it is amazing to see 7 players out here doing what they're doing.
Brown kept the miss alive from Williams and puts it back himself. Troy's got 12. Timeout. Providence with 1:43 left. Pete Gillen's team, though, on the short end by 8. Make it by 12. Already the Atlantic 10 on the back of the T-shirts of the Hokies of Virginia Tech, whose Metro days are over, and they will move to the Atlantic 10 at 95-96, and this is the way it'll look. And there's the new members, 4 in the West. Fordham joins the East.
Pretty large group, an Eastern and Western group. See all those new members.
Good teams in there too.
Good basketball league.
1:43 left here, and it looks like Virginia Tech will move on to round 3 of the NIT, barring some sort of miracle by Pete Gillen's Friars, making their 13th NIT appearance.
Metro Conference was in existence for 20 years. Broke up and everybody went in a different direction. Obviously, most of those clubs going into the new league with the Great Midwest out there. Interesting, Dayton, you know, one club that got into the Great Midwest was in there for a year, and then now their allegiances have moved to the Atlantic 10 after 1 year.
Didn't last long, did they?
Didn't last long at all.
Kind of like trading your car in after the lease expires 12 months later.
It's like changing numbers, going from 23 to 45.
Gee, who did that? Was that this weekend? Smith will step up. Sean.
I tell you what, you'd have to be comatose if you didn't know that.
That's right.
Everybody in this country knew it.
And he kind of willed that one in. Some of the guys for Providence will be ending their careers, it appears. Troy Brown, Eric Williams, who went over the 1,000-point mark. Zielinski, also Franklin Western, who started this game tonight. So they're down to the final 135, it looks like. Crozier got his own miss.
Oh, a good strong comeback there by Crozier.
Smith is gone. Sean fouled out with 1:29 left. Don't forget, Pfeiffer of North Carolina against Birmingham Southern, the NAIA championship game. Birmingham Southern won it back in '90, and for Pfeiffer of North Carolina, 25-7 going in, their first championship game appearance. That's from Mabee Center, Tulsa, Oklahoma, coming up next.
If I'm not mistaken, I think this is the first year they've played that tournament in Tulsa. They've had it in Kansas City for so many years. It's either the first or second year. I think it's the first year.
Even though it's Mabee Center, we're for sure that the game will be played.
I've done this game. This game's a lot of fun. It really is. Schools are so enthusiastic. I tell you, you have no idea how many NAIA schools are out there. I mean, there are a lot of NAIA schools.
Crozier's had a big second half, but it's not going to be enough. 19 for the game. And an immediate foul. Murdoch. And we'll walk it the other way.
Providence College foul number 3, Jason Murdoch. His third, team limit.
Virginia Tech's only non-conference losses this year. Listen to the group they lost on, all on the road. North Carolina, in front of a huge crowd. Illinois, and Virginia, in games that they led all of those at one point or another. So when you consider outside their conference, the fact that they lost to pretty good teams and always on the road, just tells you why they've become tournament tough now here in round 2 of the NIT. David Jackson, a 14-point game to go with a 15 he had against Clemson in the first round. And a 14-point cushion as we're down to the last 120. Crozier not giving up. Foul as Larrigan tried to put it up off the glass. That'll be on Watlington.
They were really disappointed they'd lost to Virginia, too. It was in Richmond, and they lost by 1.
And they were up at halftime. Excuse me, they trailed at halftime. That's the only game all year. They were up at halftime. Only game all year they were up at halftime and ended up losing, and it was by 1 point, and we know Virginia's a pretty good club.
I'll tell you one thing. The thing that impressed me early in the season for this Virginia Tech club was Pete Gillen's old team at Xavier. They absolutely destroyed Gillen's club, old club, 82-55. Kind of signaled to everybody out there, I think, in the Metro Conference that this is going to be some team to contend with. I talked to Bill Foster today when we were talking about the Metro Conference. He says, you know, there really were no outstanding clubs in our league, and there were no bad clubs.
Just everybody
was just pretty good and pretty competitive.
And Murdoch again gives up a quick one. That's 4 on him. Watlington will walk back down the other way.
Providence College foul number 3, Jason Murdoch. His fourth.
Most of those Metro Club members obviously moving into that new league, teaming up with those teams from the Great Midwest and also Houston out of the Southwest Conference. It's an important basketball league. I mean, you know, a lot of people are thinking about that league and they thought, well, this was put together for football, and I think it really was. They don't understand how good a basketball league that is going to be, particularly with Louisville and Memphis and Cincinnati, DePaul, Marquette, St. Louis. Got some great basketball programs in there.
Virginia Tech, a Big East member in football. Short on the second one for Watlington.
Asking Dave Brain about that today. I said, how tough is it to have a football league in the Big East, but also you're going to be in another league in the Atlantic 10 in basketball? He says, it's murder.
Keeps you on your toes, trying to keep track of all of it. Murdoch keeps it alive. Going to put up a prayer for a 3. Pulled down by Custis. He just keeps racking up numbers. Don't forget tomorrow, Penn State and Nebraska. That's the football game everybody wanted to see, but this is basketball. Penn State with the big come-from-behind win last week against Miami. Nebraska with their win over Georgia, a game that, quite frankly, didn't help Hugh Durham's cause as far as being fired as head coach of the Georgia basketball program.
Be interesting to see the names that'll pop up for that job.
I've heard a lot of different ones. Williams' career is over. And a good one it was. He gets standing ovation, a well-deserved one. First team All-Big East member, and he goes out with a 12-point, 9-rebound night.
Terrific career here at Providence. That young man did a lot for this school. Getting a well-deserved standing ovation from this crowd here.
He had a game against St. John's where he scored 19 straight points in 8 minutes. I mean, give me a break.
You know, it was nice there. Did you see him walk down and shake hands with the managers?
Yeah, everybody.
He went down, not only the players and coaches, but he went all the way to the end of the line. I'll tell you what, sometimes we forget what sort of contribution those managers make.
That's right.
Hanging around. They really get all the dirty jobs. That was a nice gesture by Eric Williams.
Tony Thomas, another senior, is going to check in for the first time tonight. Crozier goes out. His career here not done. His night is, and it was a heck of a second half for him. He'll leave with 19. And he'll be something to contend with for a couple more seasons. Murdoch trying to stick it back. Thomas gets it. And the folks will like that here. Too little and way too late. 12-point lead. Virginia Tech's going on to the next round. Watlington. Jackson throws it away.
You know, Brad, usually at this point, you get a lot of bench players coming in getting time, but Bill Foster doesn't have any.
He'd have to put a guy with a tie in out there. Well, he is going to go to his bench right now, as Brandon Price will check in for the first time tonight. So Virginia Tech will advance, and they'll meet the winner of New Mexico State and UTEP. David Jackson and Ace Custis go out. Custis 16 points, 13 rebounds, and 6 assists.
This was a Virginia Tech team that came in well prepared, and they executed their game plan to perfection. Outstanding performance.
Final 5 seconds and a foul. Kelly Mann, who just checked in, will end up with his name in the scorebook. Virginia Tech to go to 22-10. Don't forget the NAIA championship game is coming up next from Tulsa, Oklahoma.
Listen, I got a chance here. I'm going to take advantage of it. Pal, it's been nice working with you this year. I know you're moving on to New York, bigger and better things, but it's been a lot of fun this year. I've got one more game on Wednesday, and I'll be finished with basketball for the year, but it's been a lot of fun. It's been a terrific year, and I've enjoyed it.
We had a blast, partner. See you back home on the links.
Yep. We'll do that a lot this summer.
You're going to have to spot me about 20 strokes, though. Larrigan, 7-point night for Bo. And we're down to the final 5 seconds. A week from tonight, the semifinals of the NIT and the championship a week from Wednesday. Goodbye for Sean Good. 21-point night for Good. He was a lot better than Good. And so was Virginia Tech. An undermanned team. Bill Foster, a remarkable job. And on the road, the Hokies of Virginia Tech will go home a happy bunch as they win it. Final of 91-78 over the Friars of Providence. Ace Custis with a big night, and balanced scoring again helps the Hokies to the 13-point win. That's going to do it. Don't forget the NAIA championship is coming up next. For Larry Conley and our entire ESPN crew, I'm Brad Nessler saying so long from Providence, Rhode Island. Now let's rejoin Chris Fowler. Chris?